What's good? Today we're doing the immune system. And we're gonna go through the 3 layers of the immune system, which are the barrier system, the innate immune system, and the adaptive immune system. So these are the 3 things that basically keep you from getting sick. The immune system is essentially how you react, how you respond to external, that's my face. I had some blueberries. To external, basically viruses, bacteria, all of these things. So yes, they are filtered in, right? You can consume them, you can breathe them in, all of these things. Your immune system is how your body physiologically reacts outside of your gut, which, as we've discussed, is very important. This is how you basically, it's the attack your body puts upon these things. It's how it kills what is coming in. So there's 4 ways to describe inflammation. It's, as we talked about, heat, swelling, pain, and redness, okay? The immune system will be responsible for all 4 of these. And each of these is going to play a role in affecting this, okay? So the skin, which is not usually recognized as an immune function system, is the most important function for the immune system. Because why? Well, it contains all the mucosal function. It also basically just allows things in or not. So this is a keratinized barrier. Keratin is a nutrient, which we'll look into more. But these are the 2 main things. So it's this barrier. The stronger the barrier is, the less it will let in. The skin, this is very important, right? Because you're walking through air that has toxins in it. You're, exfoliating and consuming things which have toxins in it. Acne really is caused by this. You're exfoliating toxins, and your body is launching an immune response on your biggest immune organ, which is your skin. And something a lot of people don't know is that, so the respiratory, digestive, and urinary systems are all connected to the skin. They're all mucosally connected. So the skin it's your biggest organ in your body, as you know. But it, on the inside, contains or houses essentially the respiratory system, so your lungs, pulmonary, digestive, so your gut and all of that, and your urinary system. It's all connected by the skin, and they're all interconnected, exchanging mucosal functions. So something that we're going to see is very, very effective is supplementing immunoglobulins, supplementing things that promote immune response for mucosal function, because when you're flushing more mucus through the system and you're allowing the detoxification process to become more effective, you're literally releasing all these toxins that would not get out otherwise. You need to let them get out. So the skin is arguably the most important. And the easiest to change, right? There's a lot of things you can do. We can go through a couple things. So slippery elm, St. John's wort, right, IgA globulins, which is derived from beef. So livers, liver can be good. I don't really eat liver or a lot of meat. What else? Marshmallow root. For the urinary, uva ursi, which is derived from grapes, etc. There's a lot of things that you can do to enhance this mucosal function, and it's going to make your skin clear, but it's also going to make your immune response much, much better. Again, this is why you sweat. This is why you sweat when you're sick, when you have a fever. That's heat, and then you sweat, right? That's why your face gets flushed, redness, etc. Okay, now the innate immune system. So, I think I had a no. Oh, yeah. So, the innate immune system is ability to recognize self. So this is the system that essentially allows you to recognize what is your own body and what are toxins. The reason that proteins, triglycerides, getting in the bloodstream is so powerfully bad, that's not how to say it, is so bad, is because your body interprets that, your innate immune system interprets that as a toxin. It interprets it as a virus, something that's not meant to be in your bloodstream, that is, so it attacks it. But really, it was just in the food you ate. You just didn't break it down because your gut was not effectively functioning small intestine. So we'll see how these become extremely interrelated, as everything is. But so it's the ability to recognize self. What do you notice? What is autoimmunity? Autoimmunity, which is the biggest health problem in the U.S. Approximately 80 million people of the 380 million people in the U.S. deal with autoimmunity on a daily basis. Unreal stat. So autoimmunity is the lack of ability to recognize the self. When you think about the word autoimmunity, it's an autoimmune response to your own body. It's recognizing or not recognizing your body as whatever your body's secreting, whatever hormones it's secreting, as toxins, as a virus, something that needs to be flushed out, when in reality it's just a normal function of your body. So we'll learn how to address autoimmunity more too. One of the main functions of the innate system are macrophages. So macrophages are a type of cell, and they're the type of cell that is your body uses to essentially envelop bacteria. So you have a macrophage, cytokines, which are your like communication cells, will say, if they recognize something, bacteria that's not supposed to be there, it'll signal for a macrophage, which comes from the lymphatic system, which we'll see. And macrophages come and essentially they envelop, absorb, and digest the bacterium, right? When you see swelling, this is macrophages coming and digesting and enveloping the bacteria at a certain point, right? That's why it swells up, right? So this is the important function of the innate immune system. They'll send these macrophages to eat, absorb, and digest, and eventually, exfoliate, whether that's sweating, whether that's elimination through urine, or whether that's elimination through stool, get it out of your system, right? If you're sending these things, if you're sending macrophages to your body when you're not supposed to, it results in massive inflammation. Let me think if there's anything else I'm forgetting. Okay, yeah, like B cells. Another innate thing is B cells, which have BCRs, which are B cell receptors, which will bind to antigens, which antigens are just toxins coming from outside the body, antigenesis, so anti-creation, and this will fire an immune response. B cells will contact macrophages, call in the macrophages. B cells have proteins that call in the macrophages to envelop and absorb this bacteria that it wants to get out. So, but if there's one thing you want to go away with, it's the ability to recognize the self from the non-self. That's what an innate immune system is. That's what autoimmunity is. It's the lack of this ability. This is the most nuanced. This is the hardest to solve. There's no real clear solving to this because it's constantly, it's very ingrained. It's innate within you. You don't know what happened when you were things that happened when you were 3 or 4 can still be playing roles in your innate immune system. Autoimmunity is one of the hardest things to treat. It's just difficult. As somebody that's had autoimmunity it's just a hard problem to solve. There are things you can do to make it better. Breath work is very important for individuals with autoimmunity. Eating clean is super important because when you're putting in actual toxins, it allows the autoimmune processes to multiply, and it allows the autoimmune processes to go unrecognized because your body's dealing with these other toxins. So it doesn't even have room to deal with the autoimmune conditions, which need constant maintenance. There's also elements of eating healthier food and living a more holistic life, breath work, all these things, system regularity, nervous system regularity. They're going to do a better job at producing cells, which we're going to learn about here, like T cells, B cells, and natural killer cells that are going to help you fight this off. So there's that. So the adaptive immune system, this is the ever-changing aspect of immunity. This is the whole idea behind vaccines, right? And basically getting immunity to something by exposing yourself to it. When you expose yourself to something, and for example, like, dude, this fucking blueberry shit is on my, when you expose yourself, or like allergy desensitization, right? You're exposing yourself to small levels of the toxin, so your adaptive immune system becomes used to it, understands how to deal with it, understands what systems to fire, what cells to release, and your body becomes accustomed to it, understands it, right? That's the adaptive immune system, which is working over the clock, all the time, changing every few minutes, throughout the hours, throughout the days. Every day is changing, and it is the thing that remembers, right? So what is the thing that sets it apart? It has memory cells, which have the ability to remember viruses, remember immune response, and react accordingly. It also releases T cells, B cells, and NK cells. So NK cells are your most powerful cells. They're the most anti-cancerous, they're the most anti-inflammation. They're essentially the powerhouse of the cell community. They're what your body sends at the biggest problem in your body. And increased rates of NK cells have been associated with decreased rates of everything. Decreased rates of sickness, decreased rates of cancer, decreased rates of autoimmunity. Every single disease relies on these NK cells. I'm forgetting what this... Oh, yeah. So T cells... Okay, yeah. There's two types of T cells. Both basically play roles in coordinating B cell production, which B cells are directly anti-inflammatory, and they also signal the macrophages, right, which we talked about. It signals... There's another type of white blood cell, which is called neutrophils, which are lymphocytes, which all reside in the lymph system. The lymph system is basically the most important system for the immune system, because your lymph system is like how your, it's the fluid system in your body. It's how you secrete, or basically flush out things in your body. So activating it is highly important in immune response, because it flows these neutrophils, which basically just sacrifice themselves. And they're the highest count of white blood cells. They just go and sacrifice themselves and kill the inflammation. Then the macrophages will eat or absorb that reaction between the neutrophils and the antigen. And B cells are the ones that signal the macrophages. T cells are the ones that signal the B cells, and the natural killer cells are on their own. So it's kind of like the symphony of immune response, cell response, communication. The cytokines play a role in telling the T cells to produce and the B cells, right? So it's all like playing into one another. But the point is that the time spent is the most important thing. How fast can it identify and fire the right cells is the most highly important thing. So that is what the adaptive does. And so that's why it's, these are like when you get sick of something once, you won't get sick to it again. It's the same thing. So these are the 3 layers of the immune system. I'm trying to think of anything I might have forgotten. Let's just go through how do we strengthen the immune system naturally. What are the main things that are going to strengthen the immune system? Because this is a lot of information, but the most important thing is diet. The most important thing is diet and making sure that you're essentially satisfying the micronutrients. So what do we have? Fatty acids. Acids and omega-3s play a massive role. So important. So important. So you gotta be getting that. That comes from fatty fish, right? Nuts, seeds, that type of thing. Avocado, iron. Many, folate, iron. And supplementing iron doesn't really work for many reasons. You need to be eating iron-rich foods. It's red meat. liver, or if you're not eating meat, spinach, beets, avocado, kale, arugula, etc. Some nuts. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are a huge one, and that leads into selenium. Highly important. Found mostly in seeds, nuts, pumpkin seeds, cashews, sunflower seeds, and Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts have the highest source of selenium, something that people miss. Zinc, meat, long grains, again, nuts, seeds, and legumes like lentils, beans, etc. Vitamins A through E. Basically nothing more important. Vitamin E, D, and C are the most important things for the immune system. It's not close. It's not close. You need to be optimizing those levels. It comes from mostly fruits. Fruits are just so good for your immune system. Being in the sun, great for your immune system. Supplementing vitamin D can be a good idea. Magnesium, highly important for every part of your body. You need to be taking magnesium, threonate, or glycinate. Okay. Antioxidants, again, fruits, vegetables. It's fighting the oxidation in your system, which is literally the breakdown of your system. It's the best thing you can do for basically all of your health. Antioxidants are the most underrated things. That's why fruits and vegetables are so important. Antioxidants, magnesium, and these vitamins. Polyphenols also can be good, which come from fats and fruits. So the main consensus is always just eat fruits and vegetables and have a whole foods diet. Eat good fish, raw meat if you enjoy it, or red meat if you enjoy it, not raw meat. Supplement magnesium. Brazil nuts are the best thing that you can get in your diet. If they're not in your diet, Brazil nuts will do wonders for you. Pumpkin seeds will also do wonders for you for many reasons. And this is how to really optimize your immune system. Okay, also exercising. Exercising is the highest, is the way to boost NK cells the highest. It's shown to increase natural killer cells more than any other process. Regular exercising for men and women. NK cells are, as we said, anti-everything. It's the most important cell in reducing inflammation and immune response. Then, mucosal function. If you notice that your skin is a little bit messed up, respiratory, digestive, everybody can basically benefit from some sort of mucosal function optimization. I think immunoglobulins are great. Slippery elm and marshmallow root tea is like the best way for an average person to just go, you don't have a real problem, but like maybe there's something, just go to the store and get some tea. It's really good. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. This was educational, and let me know if there's anything that y'all want to see.